Hi everybody, welcome or welcome back. It's been about a year since I've made some keychain shakers, so I decided it was time to make some more. For this project I am using my About powders. I tried to show my chosen colours to the camera, but upon editing you can't really see them clearly, so I will tell you the colours that I am using. I will link the powders in the description as well if they're still available. For the cat I chose the chocolate colour. Now when this was going on the mould, for some reason it was making black patches, which I actually did not mind. I don't know if that's a feature of the powder or whether it was just because the sponge has been used before, so I wouldn't swear that you would get that effect as well. For the star I am using a colour called Yellow Ochre. For the moon, the colour is Green Copper. You'll notice that I start by using an eyeshadow applicator to really put that powder on smoothly, but then I go around the sunken edges with a brush. That helps to dig the powder right into the corners as well as properly burnish it in. The heart is going to be Red Copper. For the ice cream, I decided to use two colours. I'm using Diamond White for the ice cream and for the, well, mostly the cone, but it goes up around the side of the ice cream as well, but never mind. So for the rest of it is Champagne Gold. I'm trying to clean up the Diamond White from where the Champagne Gold, did I say Champagne Gold, is going to go. But ultimately, I'm not too bothered about there being a crisp distinction between the colours. They turn out to be quite similar once cured anyway. You can't really tell much difference between the two colours. Okay, I am using Craft Resin 1:1 epoxy resin. That is my go-to epoxy resin, and I'm running quite low on it at the moment. Can't afford to buy any more just yet. I could buy a smaller bottle, the 1 litre kits, but I like to buy the big 8 litre kits to make it, you know, a lot cheaper in the long run. Demold time. And as you can see, especially in that star, there are a few bubbles, but I'm not concerned because the shaker element of the finished pieces will distract the eye from any bubbles. And also giving them a bit of a clean up using the deburring tool as well as a nail file, and on occasion just picking little bits off with my nails. Okay, next I give them a little bit of a wipe over with a dryer sheet to help reduce static, and then the fun begins. As you can see, I've got quite a lot of inclusions to choose from.
Shake it in the moonlight, glitter falling down, golden crescent glowing while the stars spin round. Little ice cream shaker dripping rainbow dreams, sprinkles dancing brightly in the resin gleam. Hearts full of color shining through the night, tiny charms swinging underneath the light. Every little shaker got a story to tell, floating in a glitter carousel. Moon, heart, ice cream star, tiny worlds wherever you are. Kitty cat with sparkling eyes, catch the magic as it flies. Shake it once, shake it twice, rainbow glitter paradise. Cute little keychains glowing bright, handmade dreams in neon light. Pink heart bursting with confetti rain, golden stars sparkling over and again. Brown kitty shaker watching from below, keeping all the tiny glitter safe aglow. Butterfly charm beside the ice cream sweet, tiny silver.
Right, so now we need to cut some acetate to shape and size to seal up the shakers with. When you cut your acetate to size, it needs to come halfway across the shaker surface, so halfway across the raised surface. That way, when you glue the acetate down, it is sticking to that top surface but only halfway, because the other half is for when you do your top coat, so that the top coat comes over past the acetate but still sits on top of the shaker. If the acetate touches the outer edge of the shaker, the top coat has to go around the side, so in other words you'd have to do a flood coat, or it won't be sealed properly. You'd be able to touch it and lift it from the side. When you finish those, you can clean off the marker pen with alcohol and then give them a wipe over with a dryer sheet as well, again to reduce static. Thank you to all my subscribers, I really appreciate you all. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so, thank you. Please check out my description box for any playlists that I have linked. I have a specific jewellery, shakers and keychains playlist. I also have set up a jewellery collaboration, which is for multiple creators to send their jewellery videos to me to be added to one big playlist. So that's not just a playlist of my own creations. So if you like jewellery making, please check out that playlist, and you might find some other creators through that as well. Finally, please check out my announcement video for that playlist, because you will find how you can take part even if you don't video yourself making jewellery. Okay, now it's time to attach the acetate to the shakers, and we need to address an elephant in the room. There are opinions that you cannot use UV resin to stick things to epoxy resin, and I do believe that. However, I am doing this with UV resin anyway because I've decided to treat this as a bit of an experiment. As I said at the beginning of this video, I have made shakers before, and yes, they have broken, but there were other potential reasons why they broke. For example, I used one or more as fridge magnets and they fell off the fridge. So did the act of falling off the fridge cause them to break? So if I had used a stronger magnet, they wouldn't have fallen on the fridge and they might still be going strong to this day. Others that were used as bag charms did break. They were getting bashed about, but you have to expect keychains to get bashed about. Therefore, that's not an excuse for them to break. So depending on what you're using them for or selling them as, so what attachments you've put on them, it might influence how long they last. So I'm going to conduct an experiment with these. I'm thinking about this after I've made the video, so whilst doing this voiceover. In the video, I have made them all into keychains or bag charms, same attachments. But as an afterthought, I'm thinking I'll convert one into a fridge magnet. And hopefully, I'm not sure if I've got stronger magnets since I made the first ones or whether I've only got the same magnets. But anyway, at some point, I'll change it into a magnet. So I will update you when they break. If they break, I will let you know and what they were used for, whether they were used for a fridge magnet, a bag charm, so getting a bashed about from the outside when going through doorways and things, or whether they were used as a keychain, so getting squashed and bashed about by keys and other things inside my bag. Alternatively, in a year's time, I'll update you. So if some of them have broken and some haven't, or if none of them have broken, I'll update you then as well. The upshot is, you need to do your own research, perhaps make your own experimental pieces using different adhesives. There is UV bonding kits, there is jewellery glue, super glue. So I'm not telling you to use UV resin. I'll perform this experiment for you, but ultimately it's your choice. Okay, with all that said, so far I have stuck the acetate on and I've filled the holes because I'm going to keep these as dry shakers. Now I am going back over them, but this time I am coating them all over the top, which again seals the acetate edge to the shaker and also hardens and thickens and strengthens the acetate sheet itself. Without doing this, you'd be able to press on the acetate. I'll jump ahead in a moment, but I just wanted to mention the G3. When I first got the G3 with the UV setting, I wasn't happy with the UV setting. I can't remember why. The only reason I can assume is that it didn't cure. But I'm wondering if I just didn't do it for long enough, or whether I had put colour into the UV resin when I tried it the first time. I can't remember. But I thought I'll try it again this time, and it did work fine. So yeah, I'm happy with the G3 UV option as well now. Okay, I have jumped ahead and now I am using my handheld drill to put the eye screws in and attach some keychains. Now, I fussed about way too long over what extra things to attach to the keychains. I've never bothered before with adding tassels and things. So I got out my bag of tassels, picked out some colours that I thought went the best with each shaker, and I think I put a couple of them on and then changed my mind. I didn't like how they looked, so I will jump ahead again to where I have got out a different pack of embellishments. Just one more thing to quickly mention. Before screwing the eye screw in, I dipped it in UV, so hopefully it is stuck on the inside, but I'm also putting a dot around the outside to hopefully give it a bit of extra security. Okay, so I have my bag of embellishments, or bags, and I've picked out some little handmade with love hearts, as well as I'm looking for shape specific or shape appropriate embellishments. So I've found a heart shaped one for the heart, a star for the star, a cat for the cat, a moon for the moon, and I couldn't find anything ice creamy, so I picked out a butterfly because they signify summer, just as the ice cream does. And the reason why I bored you with the tassels story was to explain why the keychains are already attached and why I'm having to reopen them in order to put the new attachments on. Okay, glamour shots will follow shortly. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. Have a good week, and I hope to see you again next week. Bye-bye.
In a quiet room, late night glow, mixing dreams with resin slow. Some ideas I already know, some scare me half to death, but I still go. Epoxy waves and UV light, trying to get it wrong to get it right. Hands not perfect, that's okay. Every mark is part of the way. I step outside, would feel safe and known, build something beautiful